Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and welcome to Relentless and Unstoppable. We have another amazing guest coming on the channel today, so please hit like and subscribe. And after this episode, please stay tuned to the RNU channel for more amazing guests. Let's get this on!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just a quick little share of why I started Relentless and Unstoppable. It was for one very simple reason, because of Doug Kenny. Nothing to do with me at all, zero. I was just coaching Doug, and he took on the coaching and mentoring, and he made all the changes. He took all the suggestions from his parents as well as my coaching, but it was all about Doug, his breakthrough and his weight loss, his willingness to accept that he is dealing with high functioning autism and other issues, but he's never quit, he's never given up. So we did one interview with him to share his story, and then we decided to start interviewing other people. And Doug has now taken over the whole channel, and he does all the interviews, he runs everything. He's just an amazing young man. So RNU was born from simply what an amazing young man Doug is, and his story needed to be shared.
Well, I interviewed with the Disney Toon Studios, who's part of Disney but not part of Disney TV. I think at that time they were kind of merged almost, and I got the opportunity. I love the story, and I love the first movie. I love Pocahontas, as well as I love the ideas of following the historical journey that she was on. So the sequel was interesting. It wasn't typically like coming up with a story for a Pocahontas 2, just to make a sequel. It was actually the historical story that she really did go to London, and she really did meet the king and help, the Native Americans and the English kind of come together as, a little bit. They came together because of her. She was a leader, and I love that idea. So I was excited about it and talked about that excitement and how much I loved the movie, and they loved my storyboards at that time there. So it was a good opportunity, and they gave me the job, and I was really excited. It was my first directing job.
For sure. What I liked about the first Pocahontas was the fact that they made Pocahontas and John Smith pretty much the same age to keep it kid friendly, because in real life, John Smith was like 30 years older, I think, than Pocahontas. And so that would have been sort of, ordering, you know what I mean?
Right, of course. Yeah, and what we were doing is we were trying, with Pocahontas 2, we were following the amazing, feature, the first Pocahontas. So we were using all their artwork. We were using everything to make sure everything hooked up with our new characters, so it kind of merged together, looked like it was from the same world, as well as the new story, using the, what other, amazing things she did in her life historically. So I was kind of focusing on that. So it was interesting as far as the ages. That all I knew is we were just focusing on the first movie as a starting point.
Yeah, for sure. So just curious, is there a reason why Mel Gibson didn't come back for this as John Smith, or was that?
Yes, there is. Mel Gibson wanted to do it, and he was just finishing. Well, I think he was still shooting or still editing or something with Braveheart. And Braveheart, as you know, it was an incredible movie, but it was a huge production, just a huge epic movie. And he wasn't even in the United States shooting that. And so that he really didn't have the time or the energy. I mean, he was so tired and working on that. And he recommended Donal Gibson, his younger brother. And what's amazing is you can't tell the difference between their voices. They look kind of similar, and he came in to do the kind of just to do a read for us. I wasn't even at that session, but we got the tapes from it, and I'm like, holy crap, that just sounds just like Mel Gibson. So it was an easy choice to go with Donal, and he was just a sweetheart, and it was great. He, so when you hear Mel from the first Pocahontas and you hear Donal from the second, you really can't tell them apart. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I couldn't tell the difference either. I did recognize at a young age that the voice of John Smith was the same actor as Rocky from Chicken Run, another movie I liked.
Oh yeah, wow, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great
Great
actor.
movie.
He was also in Lethal Weapon, and he was in, I think yeah, I'm actually correct when I say this, but Mel Gibson, for those who don't know, started his career out in Australia after relocating from New York over there and spent a couple decades doing Australian work on the Mad Max and all that, the Mad Max franchise. And then he came back to America, and that's where his career started to take off the ground with Lethal Weapon and then his voice work and then Braveheart. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. He's had a
Yeah, I
very
mean
interesting
and he
journey.
did, and he was like the original Mad Max. That really put him on the map. That was a big that movie was a big hit, and that really did it. I loved Mad Max. I was looking forward to meeting him. Unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity, but Donald was great. He was a great John Smith.
Yeah. What was Donal like to work with?
Oh, he was great. He was, extremely nice. He actually was in Braveheart. He was done shooting his scenes, and I asked him all kinds of questions about it because I was excited to see the movie, and it was really great to talk to him about it. And he was a great guy, just really down to earth, really amazing, nice guy.
You know what he's been up to lately? Because I haven't heard a lot of film stuff regarding him lately.
I don't, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. But Mel's still rocking things from what it looks like. He was in, I think, The Force of Nature, I think, and then he was in Hacksaw Ridge as the director. So,
Right.
yeah,
And I don't recall which one, but I know he's directing a movie now that's yet to come out. So yeah, he's still, I love his movies. Yeah, he's still working. I love Apocalypto. That was one that I really loved. Of course, I love Braveheart, but Apocalypto was a really, really great movie.
yeah. I saw Braveheart for the first time last month. It was one of the most amazing movies I've ever seen.
I know, man, that was it was so powerful and emotional. It was just incredible, incredible.
Yeah, he was the producer, the director, and the lead cast. He stretched himself thin on that one.
Yeah, he was tired, and that's why, he just didn't have, he didn't really have the time. Plus, he was just probably too tired to go back and forth and record it. It was just finding the time to finish up shooting, doing all the post production, editing the movie together, getting it ready for release. There's no humanly that's like impossible with what, like you said, what he did, taking on all those roles. There's no way he's going to be able to do another project in the middle of it. So, but we were lucky to get Donald. He was great.
Yeah, for sure. So, the good news, however, is you got the original actress of Pocahontas back for the second one, and what was she like?
Irene Bedard, yeah, she was amazing. She was amazing, and part of it, which was great working with Irene, is she was so amazing in the first Pocahontas that she was helping me along in directing her as far as what would Pocahontas say, how would she say it, and she helped us with the screenplay and certain places that she wanted us to adjust. That this is how she would have said this, nothing major, but it was great to work with her, and she was just a sweetheart, and it was a real honor.
Yeah, she and one other cast member, I think Russell was his name or something. And weren't they didn't they have indigenous ancestry, the both of them?
Well, Russell Means
Yeah.
is at the time was the president of Native America. I mean, he was Native American nation. He was like the top person in that, and he was amazing. And he was, so he played her father, Powhatan. And so he was in, actually, it's funny, he was in Colorado when we were in the middle of production. So we recorded him via phone patch. So it was, at the time, that's not how you did it, but it was like we did him remotely. But I got to meet him at the premiere of Pocahontas, and it was really great to meet him. He had an amazing headdress, and he was wearing his just like the best, amazing Native American outfit. It was just an honor. His presence is so powerful. And it was really amazing because the premiere of Pocahontas 2, what we did was, or what we did, what Disney did, and I was glad to be a part of it, is in New York City, there's a pier and they have all those piers down there on the west side, and they have a ship coming in. And what they did is the pier was of the time period, and all these buildings were built almost like you're on a movie set from that time period. And they had all these actors playing parts of people who would just be walking through the piers of London, right? And some in America, they just kind of mix it up, it looked like you were going into a Disneyland set. And then the ship came in with Pocahontas and John Rolfe and John Smith up there singing one of the songs coming in once just before because at the end of the pier is where the theater was, the screen was, and all the seats. And it was walking into that is when I met Russell Means, and it was amazing, and it was all lit like a movie. And the original ship from Mutiny on the Bounty came in, and that's when Pocahontas and all the cast members were singing this song. And as soon as that number ended, then the movie started. So it's pretty impressive. They go to great lengths to put on great premieres, and it was like a rap party / premiere. It was pretty amazing.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia, saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.